guys, Hyperwatt here, and today I'm going to be discussing what I recommend for your computer specs to play Minecraft. Now first off, the minimum settings recommended by Mojang are an Intel Pentium D or AMD Athlon 64 running at 2.6 GHz with 2 GB of RAM. Now I would recommend 4 GB since 2 can be kind of limiting considering your operating system using up some RAM. So remember, that's minimum settings, and that's not something to shoot for. That's all you need to run the game at low settings. Now up at recommended specs from Mojang, we have an Intel Core i3 or an AMD Athlon 2 K10, but pretty much any new, pretty recent processor running close to 3 GHz will do just fine. However, I have an old processor that is 2.0 GHz 2 core, and it is very slow in Minecraft, running at a very low frame rate, so I'd say preferably a pretty new CPU, unless you have a pretty high-end old one. Another thing to consider is space on your computer, since the game itself does not take up much space, but if you are adding a lot of single-player worlds or a lot of mods, that can add up to take up a lot of space on your computer. So just to recap, you need a pretty decent CPU, at least 4 GB of RAM, and you actually do not need a graphics card for this game since the textures are so low resolution. And that leads me into another subject. That thing render distance right there, that's how many blocks that your computer is rendering, and that is what determines how much RAM you want for the game. If you want to render at 32 chunks, I use 8 GB and it's just barely enough. But I'd say if you want to go for an even higher frame rate at 32 chunks max render distance, I'd say you might want to go for even more, possibly 16 GB of RAM. Since this game, the textures are obviously not very high resolution, and that's why you don't need a graphics card. Getting more RAM will basically just allow you to use a farther render distance, and a faster CPU will basically just mean a faster frame rate, but that also ties into the RAM. So basically that's it for this video, guys. I hope you found it useful, and I would have found it pretty useful if I had known this before I started playing Minecraft, but my computer can run it just fine. It's an easy game to run as long as you have these specs, which are not hard to achieve. So I hope this helps you understand better which parts of your computer Minecraft is heavy on and which it is light on, and that'll help you in the future thinking about which parts you want to upgrade in your computer if you're a big Minecraft fan. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.